Hey everyone, I wanted to give you all a final update because things have taken a turn that I didn't expect. After my last post, where I told you about Megan reaching out and us having that long conversation, I spent a lot of time thinking about everything. I took a few days to reflect and really tried to figure out what I wanted, what was best for me. Megan continued texting me, trying to keep the conversation going, and she seemed sincere. I could tell she was struggling, and part of me felt bad for her. But every time I thought about giving her another chance, I couldn't shake the memory of how shattered I was when I found out she cheated. That trust was broken, and even though she apologized, I realized that trust might never fully come back. I was leaning towards moving on, but what really sealed it for me was something I didn't expect at all. Just a couple of days ago, I got a message from a mutual friend of Megan's and mine. Apparently, Megan had a bit of a breakdown after our meetup. She went back to Jake, trying to make things work with him again, but it turns out Jake had been cheating on her the whole time, pretty much from the moment they got together. The situation escalated, and from what I've heard, it ended with a pretty bad confrontation between Megan and Jake, leading to some serious legal trouble for both of them. Without going into too much detail, Megan's life has basically imploded. She lost her job, she's facing legal issues, and her mental health is in a really dark place right now. I won't lie, hearing all of that was a gut punch. It's hard to hear about someone you once loved going through so much pain. But at the same time, it felt like the universe was sending me a message. I realized that Megan wasn't coming back to me because she loved me or truly wanted to fix things. She was desperate and didn't know where else to turn. I would have been her safety net, not her true choice. So, I made my decision. I've cut off all contact with her. I wished her well, but I told her that we both need to move on. It's the best thing for both of us. As for me, I've been doing great. Since Megan and I broke up, I've been focusing on myself, my career, and building new connections. I'm in a good place now, mentally and emotionally, and I've recently started using the dating apps. LOL, not the greatest but much better than what was. For the first time in a long time, I feel truly like I can be happy again. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's that sometimes the past is best left in the past. People can grow and change, but that doesn't always mean they're meant to be part of your future. Story number 2. Wife of 4 years had an affair with my stepfather. Haven't said any of this out loud or typed it out to anyone besides my family and therapist. Here goes nothing. I'm gonna give the full background so everything falls into place. My wife, 26F, and I, 26M, have been together since we were both in 7th grade middle school. We went through all of high school and the same college together with zero breaks or time-offs. We always had a strong connection and loved each other throughout those 9 school years. My parents got divorced when I was 6, then my mom remarried when I was 15, mom was 48 and he was 52. He was a basketball player, played 4 years at a D1 college, and played overseas for 5+ years, never was good enough for G League or NBA, but he had married my mother after all that and was / a roofer ever since. He is 63 now. Me personally, I'm 5 feet 6 inches and never played any sports throughout school. Don't get me wrong, I always made sure to stay in shape and always went to the gym regularly my entire life, but I never competitive sports mainly because of my height. Anyways, so basically my wife has known my stepfather for as long as I have. Anytime he would see me, she would be with me. Fast forward now, we're 4 years into marriage and 1 child, 2 years old. My mother lives less than 5 minutes from us, so we always see them. My wife is an engineer and I work in pharmaceutical sales. My schedule is always different daily, but I'm mainly always working 8 to 4, most of the days coming after 4. One day I had nearly half my sales closed early and was headed home around 1. I pull in and see my stepfather's car parked in the street down from us. At first, I thought, oh, he knows someone in the neighborhood. I go home and I always walk in through the side door, not the garage, quicker to get in. Coincidentally, there's no Ring camera there. I walk in and right away just hear loud SUS noises. I go upstairs quietly, open our bedroom door, and see my 26F wife having sex with my 63-year-old stepfather in our bed. The worst part was they couldn't even see/hear me open the door, so it was maybe 12 to 15 seconds of me just standing there jaw-dropped speechless, maybe 5 to 6 feet away from them. Her only single repeated answer to why she did it was, "I just needed something different," and till this day I never know when it started. I keep assuming minimum 5+ years since they have known each other for 11 years. I'll probably never know. Going through the divorce process now. And honestly, I felt 100x worse for my mother. The pain she's also in is terrible. And yes, I did get a paternity test and the child is mine. But in summary, I never felt being less of a man till now, but working on a better self. Story number 3. Wife's cheating confession. About a month after our wedding, the wife and I headed for a night away in a city about an hour from us. Checked into the hotel, got changed and headed to a bar. She was wearing a long dress with a very low-cut revealing top, no bra, showing off plenty of tit and, if you were at the right angle, a full-on view of them. We went into a bar, took a seat and got a drink when a guy came over, hugged my wife and asked her how married life was. She introduces him as a guy who works in the same company, but in the head office that was in the city. He's obviously staring at her tits as they talk and she was quite uncomfortable. He leaves and she says we should try somewhere different. He returns with a drink for us, hangs around for a couple of minutes taking every chance to look down her top. He soon returns to his table and I notice the group of them looking over and laughing, obviously telling his two mates how he saw his co-worker's tits. We finish our drinks and the wife is insistent that we move bars. That was the last I heard of him for about 4 years. One day out of the blue my wife admits to sleeping with someone. I still don't know why she chose that particular time to tell me. I asked who, where, when and how it happened. Turns out it was the fucker in the bar. For months before we got married, at the company Christmas party they slept together. Slipped off to his room and let him have her. So I was sitting in the bar that night we met him thinking he was just trying to see her tits. Little did I know that he'd been sucking them a few months earlier. He was obviously telling his mates when they were looking over and laughing.